screw ups, making it snappy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Snappy. You're on with Mon,
And with Ton,
and we make our own opportunities in the span of 10 minutes. For this episode, again, we have invited a guest here with us, so please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rocio, Trillo, and yeah, yeah. So like, I just graduated high school. I make TikToks. I love to read. And honestly, I'm like Jokoy. I just use my mom for clout. So
nice.
Mhm. All right, great to have you on the show. Defense.
thank you for having me.
Of course. So yeah, how this will work is you have a 10-minute timer, although we never follow the sock to 10 minutes. So you just be free to share whatever you want. We don't work off written questions. So wherever the conversation goes within the time limit, let's just see na lang. And then yeah. So when everyone is ready, okay. So I'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we've had I don't know how many content creators at this point, like across all of our show platforms.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to see like how all of them got started. And each one really has their own distinctive niche. That's kind of what makes them all stand out, right? And
Yeah.
for you naman, like you're a family TikToker. Like you have your mom on with you a lot. And I think a lot of those videos are the ones that blew up because you kind of stuck to a lot of the trends that like the parent rules and all of that. And then you had like I think the one I saw was when you had your mom rate the Marvel actors in terms of like their crush level. I found that so freaking funny. And I was like, yeah, we gotta get this girl on our show. That's hilarious. So what is it like to, be in that situation where you'll be like, mom, let's film a TikTok, and then just like, yeah, okay, G lang, why not? Like how does that work for you? Do you just think of an idea and then you just like let's do this trend this
Yeah. Well, because my mom's really like, she's not even a best friend. We're like closer than best friends, and I think because we have
Mhm.
like our age gap isn't that big, but like if you think of it in relation to like now, a lot of people are giving birth in their 30s. She gave birth like early mid 20s,
Mhm.
so like I think that's why we're also really close in that way. Um, and yeah, like it's funny. People be like, "Oh, it's so baba," but it's just funny. Like obviously, that's not an accurate representation of everything we talk about, but like because like my mom's on TV also. Like she's a CNN
oh
anchor, so she's used to
Oh.
being on camera. And actually, she was a UAP courtside reporter, so
oh okay
she's used to
Wow.
being on TV. Like some moms are really shy, but like she's just fine with it. So like I'll be like, oh, let's do it. Or we'll just be talking about something like that day. I think for the Marvel characters, like we were talking about Marvel, and she was like, I don't know. I don't think Tom Holland is the cutest Marvel, blah, blah, blah. And like me and my sister were like, no. Um, but yeah, it just sort of happened because the one that really blew up was the rules. And this was after like I started going out because everything was opening up. So it naturally just happened. But yeah.
Yeah, diba? It's great that you have a good relationship with your mom, diba?
Yeah, yeah,
Especially since you guys, the age gap isn't really that far off, so you kind of like relate with one another, especially during like these times na, everything's like online, everything's on TikTok, and then everybody's on TikTok with us. So
yeah.
it's great you have this like outlet where you can like, bond with your mom. Diba? Have you
Yeah.
always been close with your mom, like even before you were, a TikToker, diba? Or
Yeah. No, we always were. Like I tell her everything. Like if there's kwento, she probably knows about it.
Mm.
But yeah, but I think I also really started getting into TikTok because like my best friend, she left for Australia. So like I
mm,
was like, I wanna like talk about stuff, but I don't know where to talk about it. And like I personally like keeping my circle really small. Like
mhm.
I like knowing a lot of people, but I feel like I really like, you know, personal, close, deep relationships. I feel like those are the most satisfying. And so I wanted like an outlet for that. And so I felt like I was screaming into this digital void, but like I met a lot of people who like the same books I read or, love the same Taylor Swift songs and like are going through the same things. So that I really love that aspect of it. But yeah.
Yeah, we've always mentioned this like in the past when we had other content creators, especially the ones based on, TikTok mostly. Diba? It's great na you kind of find this like community of people who are also on TikTok who like the same things that you do. But especially during when the pandemic happened, everybody was kind of like, down and all that,
Yeah.
trying to find people to kind of relate with, since we're all stuck at home. And it's nice nga na, with your experience, you had a very positive experience with, TikTok, finding people who share the same, likes as you, diba? And, also going back naman to your relationship with your mom, diba, it's great na you're close with her, diba? So not only do you have these like online friends, diba, you also have, your actual parent who is very close with you, diba? It doesn't really get any better than that, diba? So yeah.
Yeah, no, I love her. Like,
Mm.
I'm super kulit with her. Sometimes she's like, okay, go. And I'm like, bye. I can be very kulit when I want to. So both a blessing and a curse, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was weird because like beginning of quarantine, I did not do TikTok at all. Like
Same. I
I
didn't I didn't get the enough TikTok either. Everyone
really,
was like, you have to be on this. I was like, I don't understand. Isn't that just where people like dance and stuff? And then it started getting more and more, right? I was like,
Mm.
kind of content is that there's so many different, there's an audience for everything on
yeah,
TikTok. It's crazy.
yeah. No, that's so true. Like there's this one account, like it's just like he just it's like apply or deny for like universities, and he just talks about universities. Like it's I'm on like nerd TikTok. Like there's like ancient Rome TikTok, and they talk about like ancient Rome, and I'm like obsessed.
Oh,
And they
that's so cool.
yeah, so yeah, because I thought it was dancing also, and I can't dance. Like I look like like in those car washes when there's like the flailing
Oh
arms.
yeah.
That's what they look like. So I was like, no, absolutely not. But like one of my family friends, she also got into like fashion TikTok. So from there, I was like, oh, it's not all dancing. And it really depends on your algorithm too. Because like I have
Mhm.
guy friends and their algorithm is like completely different from mine. And I'm like, oh. So I just found that really funny. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really crazy how TikTok has kind of changed the world in terms of like the standard for social media and
Yeah.
what's like okay to literally everyone sharing these sides of themselves that no one would expect them to in real life, diba? Like
Yeah.
if you found someone talking about freaking NFTs in real life compared to us teaching it like a crash course on TikTok, like you wouldn't expect that to happen in real life. And now being behind this kind of screen of social media, it makes people feel more comfortable to go to an extent because you don't know who's watching your TikToks. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure you have some with more than 1 million views, right? And if you
Yeah.
think about it, that's a freaking million people watching that
Yeah.
you don't know. Like I don't think anyone on earth knows 1 million people. Like what?
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
weird to grasp. It's really weird to grasp. And I think because TikTok is it's such an intimate form of social media, like it's vertical video and like it's not heavily edited the way Instagram or YouTube has that sort of structure. Because like there are
Mhm.
a lot of people, they're just doing it from their couch or like they're hungover or like stuff like that. So you feel super close. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you feel like you're FaceTiming a friend. And like I was actually because like I did a paper on like this book which is told through an oral history, but it ended up being about like parasocial relationships.
Mhm.
So basically, like a parasocial relationship for people listening that don't know is when you're like basically it's like when you look at a celebrity, you're like you it's like a very intimate, you know, like front seat. I'm trying to think of like colloquial terms to describe it, but like a front seat in someone's life. Um, and so yeah, like and I think it's a really interesting way to perceive someone because like when I started doing TikTok, we had blended learning,
Mhm.
and like like I didn't know a lot. I mean, like especially people in the lower batches, like I didn't know them, and they're like, "I've seen you," and I'm like, "No, no." Like I went out, and this person was like, "I love your mom. She's my mom," and I was like, "Oh, I'll tell her." So I find it really funny. It's nice. I like it. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure it's quite validating to an extent na to think that you've reached someone's algorithm that they don't know you and have no business knowing anything about you, right? And then they're like, oh my god, I've seen you on TikTok.
Yeah.
Your stuff's so hilarious.
Yeah, it's weird.
Mhm.
It's weird. And like obviously people will say stuff, but like
Yeah.
I think that comes with the territory. But like if you like for people that want to get into TikTok, just know you can't like alter the way other people perceive you. And I feel like that's the most freeing thing. Like after graduating high school, I'm like, okay, like I'm not worried about being in a small because I go to a really small school. So like, you're not weighed down by like, stuff like that. So that I feel was really liberating and made me want to produce more videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I mean, it's a great way of like, putting yourself out there in a creative sense, diba? And like what we mentioned, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, some people will like your content, some people will hate on it. I mean, it does come with being a content creator, putting yourself out there. Pero, the feeling of, making someone's day, with just you being you and even adding your mom to the mix also, diba? It feels good, diba?
Yeah.
And also in your sense naman na you're doing something that's like fun and that's something you like doing, diba? With your
Yeah.
whether it's for you or for your mom also. So
Yeah.
good on you, diba, for putting out pretty cool content out there. So yeah, I mean, if anything, the world needs more like pretty
More
pretty cool
laughs,
stuff.
more good vibes, more
Yeah,
humor.
positivity. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
mm.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, my mom's really funny. She's a Gemini.
Mm.
I find Gemini very funny. I don't know if that says a lot, but yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Mm.
yeah, for sure. And like, I also think I don't know, but like, cause like when the TikTok started blowing up, I got bullied in school. Like, I don't know
Oh.
if that was correlated, but like, so like for I don't know if people listening, have gone through that, but just know like, stand up for what you believe in and like, report it if you have to. And like
Mm.
you'll attract people that are, very similar to you. Yeah.
Wow, what a good
Yeah.
shit. This is turning into a freaking self-help.
Self-help. I hate self-help books though. Funnily enough, I really hate like because I do book talks. I'm trying to break into book talk.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
I'm here for the free books. I hope one day like someone will send me a book for
Oh
free.
yeah, that's the goal right there.
That's
Mhm.
that's the goal. Yeah, and I've always loved reading, ironically, because I have dyslexia also.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So the way I think is like really baliktad. Like and like I'm an auditory learner, so I think that's why like TikTok is such a good platform because
Mhm.
when I listen to things or like if I'll watch like a TED talk or like a master class, like I can remember verbatim like certain portions of it in contrast to reading where I'm like slow. But I think being dyslexic really forced me to read a lot as well. Because I'm very tigas ulo. If I'm told I can't do something, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of avenues, different avenues of content you can explore with your account, diba? You can do, the book stuff and,
Yeah.
the stuff with your mom also. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, TikTok's like the freaking future right now. You can do anything there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we
And then
manifest a lot in this podcast. So hopefully you do get that free book someday.
we book one day. No, because I have like so many favorite authors, and like, I also like a lot of local authors. Like I'm reading Jane Ramos, The Farm, and
Hmm.
it's kind of dystopian, and I really love it. So hopefully, who knows? But
Yes.
yeah,
Manifest. It works on this show, so it'll happen for sure. It's not
yeah. Like
when it'll
I'll
happen.
sage my room, and like I follow like the manifestation accounts on Instagram with like the
Oh, those are the best.
I love those. I love those. But like I've been encountering like a lot of tarot cards on my TikTok. And I'm like, no, please. I don't want it's like the theme's always like your soulmate. And I'm like, no, no. Um, but yeah, I don't know what the algorithm's trying to tell me. I find it really funny. But I also saw this one TikTok, which I found really interesting. It was like, you don't have to find your niche because humans are multifaceted. And I see that a lot with like a lot of new accounts
Good
on
point.
Instagram, diba?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, no.
you're boxed into this one perception. Like when I see a fashion TikToker, I'm like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, that's all they're gonna
fashion,
post.
diba? but then like you see them in real life, or you talk to them, or you see their dump account, and you're like, wait a minute, it's like completely different. And so
Yeah.
I find that so interesting. And I don't know, yeah, because I don't have a niche. Like everyone's like some people will be like, oh, it's your mom, and then some people will be like, I love your Cuento times, and then like some people will be like, oh, I like your book TikTok. So I think the algorithm will find it, but you don't have to like force yourself into a niche.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. People are more than one thing.
yeah.
I was waiting for that. That's
Yeah,
your...
I was gonna just tee that up, but like, oh no, this is becoming too self-helpy.
Yeah,
Too
diba?
We're gonna
self-help.
we're gonna have to like if this
Yeah,
wasn't time, we could go on and on, but like
yeah, siguro like as a ending point na before we do the question thing, I guess, you might say don't have a niche, but like, just being yourself, that in itself na is like your kind of content.
yeah,
Diba?
that's
You're just being,
everyone's niche is being themselves. No one else can
yeah,
copy that.
everybody's niche is being themselves.
That's
Diba?
so
So
It's so cheesy. It sounds so cheesy. And again, I'm not a fan of self-help books. Like I'm like, no, I don't want people to tell me what to do. But yeah, it's really true. Yeah.
great.
What a good point. All right, so we have one last like question. It has nothing to do with TikTok, or maybe it does. I don't know, but it's
Super
something
random.
fun that we do with every single guest that we have in this mini-sode series. So me and Mon like created 30 like all over the place questions that we numbered.
Mhm.
And every time we have a guest on the show, we ask them to pick a random number, and then we just ask them the question, and whatever they pick, like some of these are really like so stupid, but we have so much fun, and our guests love doing this too. So pick a number from 1 to 30.
From 1 to 30, 17.
17.
17.
Okay. Okay. If you had the chance to drop everything and move somewhere else right now, where would it be?
Oh my God. I want to go everywhere. I just want to be all over the place. Like I wish I could like clone myself and be everywhere. But if I could be somewhere else, well, my best friend's in Australia, and like we're like glued to the hip, so I'd probably visit her if I could. I'm gonna manifest it.
Yes,
Yeah.
do it here.
Yeah.
The
But
land
then,
down under.
yep. But in terms of traveling, like I'm going off another tangent because you said like one place. But if I could go anywhere else, like can it be like a different time period or no?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. Up to you.
why
Yeah.
not? It's your
Or,
life.
or like I don't know. It's so hard. If it's like a different time period, because like I always think about this. I'm like, if I could go back in time, how far back could I go where I can still communicate with other people
Oh,
and like
yeah.
live like a very hygienic life? Because when you think about it, like before like the Industrial Revolution, it was like so unhygienic. That's so weird. It's such a weird thing.
What a
Again, I'm like
random
on
thing to
history
know.
TikTok. I'm like obsessed with history TikTok.
That's cool. That's cool though. Yeah.
Um, but like, oh my God. Or like if it's into the future, like I wanna see where I am like 5 years from now.
Okay.
But like I don't know. But then I don't know if I want to do that. Cause like I've been watching like a lot of multiverse type movies. Like I watched Doctor Strange and I'm watching everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
So like if it's like parallel universes, no, I'd want to see me in a different parallel universe. That's where I would
There
go.
we go. That's the epiphany right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. What the fuck? You
Yeah.
interact with
Actually,
yourself.
haven't thought of that much. Yeah. Like thinking of a parallel version of myself.
Yeah.
Possibly hundreds. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Good
yeah,
answer. Way to defy that straightforward way of thinking. For that question, it just went all over.
That was
If
an
you could go to
ordinary
one place, I'd
question,
see myself.
but a super dope answer though. So yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
All right. So before we end, is there anything that you want to plug?
Nothing much. My TikTok is Rocio.Trillo, I guess. Yeah, but then like it's absolutely not Rocio. I think that's like what I changed it to. And there's like a caterpillar, I think, because like I'm really short. Like compared to my friends, I'm 5'2", so they always tease me about it. um, yeah, and I don't know what to say. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course,
Yeah.
this took a very big turn into the self-help direction.
I
I
know.
did not expect to analyze TikTok in that way where like it really is which is really something good that we're trying to like explore more now is like more content creators and influencers looking at that side of growth rather than just for the content side. So thank you for
Yeah.
opening up that avenue for us to see that it's actually a really interesting thing to discuss and talk about. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it was super fun having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys and good luck with everything.
Of course.
Same to
yeah.
And
you. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
we're gonna manifest it here one more time before we before we let you go that you're gonna continue to blow up more for sure. Like you're gonna reach like the 1 million followers and then
Oh my god.
wouldn't
Mhm.
that be
That would be
something? It's not out of
wild.
the ballpark just to think
Mhm.
in that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you to everyone who's been listening and watching and supporting our content. This has been another episode of the Screw Up Snappy, and we will see you guys next time.